Hey folks, this is Manuel from Steadybit. In this video, we want to cover how you can automate your workflows by integrating Steadybit with your AI of choice. For that, Steadybit offers an MCP integration, a model context protocol integration, to integrate Steadybit with whatever AI you prefer. The MCP integration allows you to automate your reporting and summarize all the results so that you can report about them, but also enables you to get suggestions for further experiments, and this way really learning more about your system, understanding why a specific experiment run has failed and how you can actually improve the situation. Also asking AI to check for common reliability issues, common experiment failures in your experiments to address them consistently. Now, the MCP integration offers different tools by using the different APIs of the Steadybit platform, like, for instance, listing experiment designs, checking out an experiment run, also checking the available experiment templates, and even creating experiments based on experiment templates in your environments by using natural language. We also have a tutorial over here how you can set it up with Claude Desktop. And that's exactly how I want to start with the MCP integration, by setting it up using Claude and then running a few prompts to show you some use cases. And then I'm really looking forward to get your use cases and how you have used AI to automate your workflows. So first of all, to integrate, I need an API access token. And as done before, I can get one by going into the Steadybit platform, heading into the settings of Steadybit, and then to the API access token section. Here I can create a new one. And once I've created one, it's the only time where we actually show that. So make sure to copy it and save it somewhere safe. And now I'm heading into Claude Desktop to configure the MCP server and integrate via Steadybit's API. Here we go. I've now opened Claude. I can head into the settings. In here in the developer section, I can edit the configuration to add another MCP server. And now I can see the Claude Desktop configuration, which is currently empty. I can copy and paste the MCP configuration from the MCP GitHub repository. And now you can see that I'm actually integrating by using the previously created API token, connecting to our SaaS API. And I've also enabled the capability to create experiment from templates. I can simply save this configuration and restart Claude to actually pick up that configuration. Here we go. Now going into the settings again, you can now see that we are having the Steadybit MCP server listed in here. This way I'm ready to go to automate my workflows by using Claude integrated with Steadybit. So let's start with a very basic prompt just to test whether everything works, by, for instance, asking Claude what kind of tools are available for Steadybit. Here we go. You can see it lists a lot of different tools, which is matching also the ones we saw earlier. Now let's go for a little bit more interesting use case, like this one over here, where we're using natural language to actually describe a scenario to validate a load balanced HTTP endpoint, whether it works whenever a zone outage is happening for a specific Kubernetes deployment. I can easily describe that in here and then ask AI to generate the experiment for me. And now this one will obviously take a little bit more time to generate the answer. So let's wait a few seconds. So you can see it's actually checking for available experiment templates, getting a specific template, now listing the teams which are associated to the access token, also automatically figuring out all the right parameter. So let's wait a few more seconds. Here we go. Claude has finished his work, so you can see what it actually has done. Listing experiment templates, getting teams and environments, trying to create the experiment based on a template. Eventually it created the experiment, which we can also open up immediately. And you can also see it perfectly describes what the experiment is actually doing so that I know what's going on. Now let's jump over into Steadybit again to check out the created experiment. Here we go. This is the created experiment, and you can see it's using the block traffic to actually simulate the zone outage for a specific Kubernetes deployment. And while doing that, it's automatically checking for the load balanced HTTP endpoint on the actual success criteria. I can immediately run this experiment to validate whether my system is working in that specific scenario. And if not, I can also ask AI to generate some insights based on the experiment run. Like this one, which is pretty similar to the one we have just created using Claude. You can see it's failing. And I can now ask Claude to describe what's happening here in the run and also asking it for potential improvements. So jumping over into Claude again, I can point it to a specific experiment and asking it to analyze the latest experiment run. And now you can see it automatically fetches all the results, also identifying why the actual experiment failed, potential root causes and recommendations like the traffic routing issue. So maybe the load balancer isn't really well configured. The success rate is potentially too strict, or if we don't want to lower it, we may want to improve the redundancy or have some better graceful degradation, like for instance retries and circuit breakers. Another great use case for AI is also to summarize your team's activities in chaos engineering, to report about the current ongoing activities, like a prompt you can see over here, where we're asking AI to summarize all the experiment runs of a given team, and then it's calculating the overall execution status, common reliability issues that you have identified, and also the most problematic areas for a given team. So this was a quick overview how you can integrate Steadybit with your AI model of your choice by using the MCP integration. Also, we have in this repository some examples, which also list some great prompts to use AI to summarize your results or getting suggestions for further experiments. This way, I'm really looking forward to get feedback from you, what kind of prompts you're using to automate your workflows. And whenever you're missing some APIs or some tools in the MCP integration, let us know, or just enhance the integration on your own by creating a pull request. Thanks for watching and take care.